Surfshark is relatively new to the VPN scene, but they've been gaining a lot of attention, especially because of their consumer-friendly pricing. However, what exactly do they have to offer in terms of features and performance? We got ourselves a Surfshark account so we can check out the goods ourselves. And we made a list of what we liked and don't like about it. This is David from Big Kacha, and here are the 9 pros and 3 cons about Surfshark. Nine things we like about Surfshark. Number 1. Safe and private connections. When you're looking for a VPN service provider, of course the first thing you're going to look for is privacy and security. Surfshark offers just that with their safe and encrypted tunnels. Surfshark leverages on OpenVPN and IKE-v2 as the de facto standards of high speed and security. They also offer shadow socks, which is better known as an encrypted proxy. Surfshark also has very strong encryption for data transmitted through the VPN tunnels because of their insistence on the ES256-bit encryption. This works hand in hand with the kill switch, just in case your connection to the VPN drops. Best of all, you leave no digital footprints thanks to their no-log policies. We also tested the VPN for DNS and WebRTC leaks, both of which came back negative. Well, it doesn't get more secure than that. Number 2. Multi-hop connections available. Offer me 1 layer of protection and I'll throw it back at you. Offer me 2 layers of protection and I'll say, "Come to me, daddy." Surfshark provides 2 layers of anonymity thanks to their multi-hop feature. You'll have the option of routing through 2 VPN servers, one after the other, for extra security and peace of mind. On top of that, they cover over 61 countries with a network of over 1,000 servers. For the new kid on the block, that's really impressive. Number 3. Available on many platforms. We use multiple devices to connect to the internet. Our phones, our laptops, TVs, hey, even our refrigerators. It's only realistic to expect VPN to be available on all these devices. Surfshark delivers by having their services available on plenty of platforms running Android, Windows, and iOS. You can even install it on your gaming device or your TV. If you want to throw it on your router, you can too, but be prepared to deal with a slightly slower internet connection. It takes processing power to handle encryption, and most routers aren't really engineered for that. Number 4. Great speed. We tested Surfshark speed in several key areas around the world, such as Australia, US, Germany, South Africa, and Singapore. And overall, it did great. Some VPNs actually perform better in certain countries due to the popularity, but not Surfshark. They're not the fastest that we've used, but they've managed to keep up consistent speeds across almost all locations. Do note that these speeds were achieved at Surfshark's fixed standard of 256-bit encryption, which is really impressive. Number 5. Strong global server presence. Now that we've gone over the speed, we can pay attention to the next point, coverage area. As I said just now, Surfshark has over 1,000 servers spanning over 61 different countries, which is really impressive, especially for a new VPN. Heck, even some VPN vets don't have this kind of coverage yet. On top of that, most of their servers are physical servers, with only a handful of them being in virtual locations. Their hardware seems pretty capable and are able to handle all of the protocols and features that the fledgling VPN has to offer. If you're in need of a fixed IP address, Surfshark actually has a few servers offering those, although limited in choice. Quite handy, as most ISPs actually charge extra for fixed IPs. Number 6. Smooth streaming of geo-blocked content. One of the biggest reasons why people get VPNs is to access geo-locked content, especially on Netflix. So of course it makes sense that we'd have to check their capabilities in overcoming this nuisance. Most VPN service providers we've tried have really spotty connections for streaming. Some of them even come up with a proxy detected error message. We were pleased to find that Surfshark never gave us problems when streaming on Netflix or using BBC's iPlayer. Number 7. Great prices. Of course, prices are going to be a factor in choosing a great VPN service. We're already paying so much for everything else, and all these little costs add up. However, at only $249 a month for their 24-month subscriptions, Surfshark prices sure are a delight for us. For comparison, let's look at our other favorite VPNs, ExpressVPN and NordVPN. ExpressVPN charges $8 a month for their annual plan, while NordVPN charges $4 a month for their 2-year plan. The cherry on top with Surfshark is that you're not limited to what device you can use it on. For a VPN that offers consistent performance and solid features, this is an absolute steal. Number 8. Smooth user experience. When we purchase a service to be used, we expect it to just work. It needs to be problem-free in all aspects: UI, connection, support, all the works. Surfshark doesn't fail us. In fact, it exceeds all expectations. Out of all the VPNs we've tested, this one emerged as one of the top 10 where we didn't look at something and just thought, this doesn't belong here. It's obvious that they put in a lot of effort in developing a service that's user-friendly for everyone. And that's an important point that separates them from the competition. From the moment you click sign up to the time you disconnect, the experience is buttery smooth. In essence, Surfshark just works. Number 9. Nifty extra features. Everyone likes it when there's extra features that come bundled with the services they purchase. And Surfshark knows this too. However, instead of side benefits that you can get from any other security provider, they point their focus on features that enhance the primary purpose. For example, there's the whitelister feature, which lets you pick and choose the traffic that you want to bypass your VPN service. This is very useful for certain apps and sites that have problems with VPNs, such as Microsoft Office 365. The camouflage mode makes your connection appear like a regular internet traffic rather than a VPN traffic. If you're located in a highly restricted area such as China, then the no border mode will let you bypass all of these highly restricted protocols, which are put in place specifically to block services like these. There's also Clean Web, a value-added service that blocks ads and trackers, making your browsing experience much more smoother. Now that we've highlighted the good stuff, let's move on to the bad stuff. You didn't think we liked everything about Surfshark, did you? Here are the 3 things that we didn't quite like about it. Number 1. Dodgy customer service. Before we begin, I think it's fair to say that Surfshark's live chat support is pretty fast. They also respond to their emails pretty fast as well. Emails are also attended pretty quickly, so they're by no means bad. It's just that some of their responses can be a little bit questionable. For example, one of their reps told me that the IKE v2 was the default connection settings on the Windows app, which is incorrect. Hopefully, we were just dealing with someone wet behind the ears. Number 2. Weak social media presence. Most VPN providers are generally active on their social media accounts, but for some reason, Surfshark's accounts barely seem to show any signs of life. While a lack of interest in social media activity doesn't mean a company is bad per se, but it does make them look a little bit untrustworthy. If you're a popular service provider in any B2C business, customers are going to be interested in your activities. No activity means no relevance in the customer's eyes. Just saying. Number 3. Poor peer-to-peer performance. We're all torrent hogs, so naturally, we'd like to see how Surfshark performs in all peer-to-peer sharing. Although they claim to support torrenting on most of their services, but we found out the torrenting speed to be a little bit slow. That being said, once we made use of the whitelisting feature, torrent speeds became faster and much more bearable. Conclusion? Surfshark is great! After thoroughly testing the services, we've concluded that Surfshark is just absolutely terrific. We've been personally using the 2-year plan for a while now, and we don't have any complaints aside from the ones that I mentioned earlier. With their solid security features, consistent speed, seamless streaming, great pricing and value, Surfshark cements themselves as one of the greatest VPN services available today. That's all for today's episode, folks. If you enjoyed it and you find it informative, please make sure to like and subscribe down below. Peace!